Hello and welcome back to my channel, Kylie's Book Quirks. Today I'm going to be running you through my review of the Sky in the Deep series by Adrienne Young. So first off, before we get started, like always, please check out the important links down below to help Black Lives Matter, Indigenous peoples, and to stop Asian hate. They're very important resources. Please check them out. Also, some of my other socials are linked down below if you want to follow me there. And then I think I'm just going to jump right in. So The Sky in the Deep is a historical fiction series about Vikings. Not sure when the timeline or the geographics are. I'm guessing it's sometime in I don't know, Norway, Sweden. I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry. But it's about a 17-year-old warrior named Elin who is fighting in this battle against the rival clan. So there's the Aska, which Elin is a part of, and the Riki, who they fight every 5 years. Now, 5 years before, when Elin was 12, her brother Iri had been killed by a Riki clan member, and she believed him dead. Until 5 years later, when she was 17, she sees him alive in battle. And he is fighting alongside the Riki, which is a huge, terrible thing for Elin to realize because they're sworn enemies. So when she finds out about Iri, that he's alive, Iri and his friend Fisk decide to kidnap her and take her back to the Riki village because they can't let their secret get out. So she gets back to the Riki village and she is with Fisk's family, who is Iri's best friend, and basically is their servant, so she helps them out with chores, etc. And the plan is that once the fall comes around, they will send her back down to the Aska village, hoping that they can win her over to keep their secret in the time being. So then when the Riki village is raided by another rivaling clan called the Herja, I believe, and the Aska is also raided, the two clans, with the help of Fisk and Elin, decide to team up to defeat the Herja, which they successfully do, bringing the clans together to create, I think it's the spell, if I remember correctly. Not sure. So basically they bring the two clans together, and during this time, Fisk and Elin fall in love, and they sort of have this enemies to lovers arc where they hate and despise each other, but only tolerate each other for the sake of Iri, and they slowly fall in love together and realize that maybe there's something more between them. Overall, this is one of my favorite books. I originally picked it up in 2018 when it first came out, and I loved it. I really enjoyed the Enemies to Lovers. I think it was one of my first Enemies to Lovers books that I read and really opened up the genre for me. So I think that the writing and the pace on this book is really well done, and I really love the historical fiction as far as seeing this historical part of time with these people and their way of life. And then I really loved Fisk and Elin. They were my two favorite characters just because how I loved their development and the sort of growth that they went through. And I think that the story ended off on a good place, but I would have liked to see more resolution, and I would have liked to see the book expanded more. I think it's very much a middle grade book, and I think that just having the plot explained more and the romance a bit would have made it a lot better in my opinion, but it's still a really good book as it is now. The writing and the pace is really well done. I think that it has a very consistent pace, and I like how everything develops. So there is a companion novel to this book that came out in 2019, which I had not been aware of until I checked it out of the library. I was gonna sneeze, sorry. So the companion book is called The Girl the Sea Gave Back, and it's probably maybe 5 years in the future, 5-10 years in the future, when the the Riki and the Asuka have been living together. Their new name is not the Spell. That's yeah. Their new name is not the Spell. I don't remember what their united clan name is, but Halvard, who is Fisk's younger brother, has grown up with them and rises to be like the new clan leader of them. And then the new character is Tova, who has lived with the Spell, and she uses these rune stones to like tell the future, to see into the future. And so Tova and Halvard like see each other, and then they're like, oh my gosh, we have this connection, and this connection's bringing us together. We have to like, so they figure out how to like unite their clans, and it sort of leaves off like, oh well, romance is obviously going to happen next, but we're just not going to delve into it. So for like the 300 pages that we had this like plot going on, that was basically a repeat of The Sky and the Deep, except with its own couple twists, there was nothing going on. Like we had maybe like 100 pages of introductory, like getting what's going on, some like build up, and then 100 pages of like Halvard like trying to escape the spell and Tova trying to find him, and then they're like showing this connection that they have, and then like the last 100 pages are conflict resolution. And I really wanted to see more of Fisk and Elin and the other old characters, because there was very little connection, at least in my opinion, from the second book to the first book. It felt very disconnected, and so it just sort of lacked for me. And then, you know, it just was sort of bland. Like, I didn't feel like there was much going on, and that really disappointed me, because Sky and the Deep was one of my favorite books, and I was like, oh, I thought this would be better. I also was expecting more Fisk and Elin, but, like, you find out that, yeah, they had a kid, but you don't know, like, what their kid's name is, because she's just sort of lumped in with Erie's kid, too, so you don't know who's who. And then, like, you don't really see much of the romance either, other than, like, the one time Fisk, like, puts his hand on Elin's shoulder. So I don't know, they felt very like side characters to me. And I know they are side characters in this book, but it was like neglected side characters who had no development, or it was just so disappointing. So for Sky in the Deep, I gave that 4 out of 5 stars, and The Girl the Sea Gave Back, I gave 2 stars. So I would recommend that you read Sky in the Deep, and don't read The Girl the Sea Gave Back, unless you really want to. But overall, yeah. So that's my review for the Sky in the Deep series by Adrienne Young. Hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all later.